coming up on Safety and Awareness Today.
We're talking about bus safety. We're talking about the protection of one of the greatest resources of our country, children. We're talking about some of the being aware.
Anything could happen.
Okay.
Any furtive movements, just raises our suspicion.
How can we strengthen our upper shoulder structure? School bus safety, it's important. Let's go talk to Pete Gagliano, Transportation Director of the New Hartford School District. It's nice to have you with us, Pete.
Glad to be here.
And now we're talking about bus safety. We're talking about the protection of one of the greatest resources of our country, children.
Exactly.
Yeah, and some of these buses carry, well, some have small buses with 10 or 16, but as many as how many?
66 students we can carry.
66 students on some of these buses. That's a lot of young lives that we're looking to take care of, and there's some basic signals that these children are being taught to follow that we want the drivers and everybody to be aware of regarding their safety.
That's very correct.
Okay,
Cliff.
when they get off the bus, if the bus driver wants them to cross in front of the bus so that they can get to their home to the other side, what's the signal for that? What's the signal for crossing?
Well, as soon as your child gets off the bus, the child needs to get away from the bus 3 to 5 feet and walk 10 foot in front of the bus.
Oh, okay.
And at all times look at the driver.
Okay.
So when the driver thinks the child can cross, the child will look at the driver and the driver will give the signal of a go-ahead.
Go ahead. So the thumb is up.
And the finger out means you're safe to cross.
You're safe to cross.
So prior of any school bus that's ready to disembark a student will start his yellow warning lights,
okay,
come to a complete stop.
Right.
He will open the door and will activate his red lights. Child will get off the bus,
okay,
get away from the bus, walk 10 feet in front of the bus, and then look for the driver's signal.
All right. Now, you said that they're going to put the yellow warning lights on, so the driver should be prepared that the bus is going to stop.
Any driver forward and behind any school bus, the warning lights are telling the public that that school bus is going to go stop.
But they won't put the red lights on with the sign out until the bus stops.
Until it's physically stopped.
So he physically stops the bus, then he checks, and he puts those on and secures everything at that point.
So at that point, the driver is looking in his mirrors,
right,
left to right, and also behind him and in front of him at all times.
All right. Now, if the children get off, and we've got some distance from the bus, so the bus driver can see them, everything is a little more under control. What if he wants them to stop? What's the hand sign for that?
The driver will either blow the horn, and hopefully the child is looking at the driver at all times.
Right.
The driver will put his hand up.
And that means
and
stop.
also blow the horn.
Okay.
And that means stop or return to the curb.
Okay. Now, I think more specifically, sometimes they say the blowing of the horn is get back to the curb
It's
and
more
away from the bus.
effective than watching for the hand signal. Correct.
But the hand signal is stop where you are.
Correct.
All right. So stop where you are with the open hand signal. Now, we have seatbelts on the buses. All right. It isn't mandatory that the children use them, but we're trying to encourage parents to use them, aren't we?
At all times.
All
all times. New York State implemented seatbelts since 1987. That they're mandatory to be installed on any school bus.
Yeah, I got on this bus. I mean, there's seat belts there for the children. I know sometimes the junior high and high school kids are a little tough to get them to cooperate, but if we can teach the kindergartners and the first graders and the second graders to get comfortable with it, it's good. It's a good thing.
It's the little tights that need to wear the seat belts at all times, because you'll never know, God forbid, if an accident occurs and they also have a seatbelt on.
Oh my heavens! And the bus drivers. what a job they've got. That's a really tough job.
People think school bus driving isn't tough, but it's one of the toughest
The
employments in the industry.
Yeah, the responsibility is amazing, and they have to be a bit of a psychologist in some respects, as well as a teacher, as well as a driver.
Correct.
Now, they go through a program, too, for driving buses.
As soon as you become a school bus driver, you have to attend a 30-hour class of school bus training.
Okay.
Then every year, you're into a 2-hour renewal twice a year.
Wonderful. There's a lot of safety factors going on. You know, I mean, you're affiliated with the New Hartford School District?
That's correct.
All right, and they have their own buses.
That's correct.
Wow, and it's quite a fleet. It's an impressive fleet. A lot of school districts do. You have a wonderful fleet of buses.
Thank you very much.
Man, it's been very professional, the people I've met regarding New Hartford and what they do. My congratulations to you on the safety and the precautions you take for our children.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
And I hope we have a safe year.
Oh, we will. Thank you
Thanks
for your
again.
time. This is a self-defense technique against a throat grab. I have with me right now Cheryl Fraley and Nicole Crandall that are going to assist me in demonstrating this technique to you. Keep in mind, although it is more complex, it is a technique that you can learn to do. And unlike some defensive techniques, it does not just take care of the part of the attack that is dealing with your body. It deals with the attacker, all right? So if you two will face each other, I'm going to have Cheryl grab Nicole's throat. You grab the throat. First thing that Cheryl did is what an attacker would do. She got her other weapon ready, her left hand. That means when we do this technique, it must be clean and smooth flowing. But as we break it into parts, Nicole is going to take her outside left shoulder. This is the arm, the same side as the arm that grabbed her. She's going to face Cheryl with her hand, as if to go, hi. See the hi, see that? Do a hi again. Hi, you have me by the throat. Then she's going to take her other arm, bring it around, and there is a torque in her waist, shifting her hips, so that she can get this wrist and this elbow of her right arm parallel with the floor. At that moment, in that flow, she steps, rotates. Now, stop right there. At this particular moment, she has locked this person's arm. The ulnar radius bone both have rotated to protect themselves. The humerus bone has rotated to protect itself, but unfortunately it's all worked its way up to the shoulder. The shoulder dislocation now is going to happen if you do this fast. Now let's try it one more time, and let's switch sides, please. We're just going to see it from the other side. Same arm grab, hand comes up, says hi, you've grabbed me by the throat, you shouldn't. Other hand goes over, she grabs, see this elbow up, wrist up, takes a little torque with the body. In the flow, it goes very nicely, steps with the right foot, and rotates facing the opponent. Now, right there it is. There's the lock. You have the opportunity to strike to the back of the leg, to the base of the back, to the head, or simply to drop them to the floor. Because if she pushes down on the arm, push down on the arm, Cheryl is going to go down, all right? And as you can see from the scenario on the street, you can drop that person and simply walk away.
Coming up on Safety and Awareness Today.
Okay, the lights are on, the sirens are going. What should you do?
I'd like to see their hands.
Their hands should be visible to you. Driving a vehicle is a job of responsibility. There's a lot to keep in mind. And there's a group of people, men and women out there, to help us remember. The New York State Troopers. When they pull us over for just checking something or because we've made a mistake, there's certain things we should do. Let's go take a minute and talk to Trooper Ted Gage about how we should handle that situation. Well, Trooper Gage, we're talking about some of the being aware. If you're pulled over by a New York State Trooper, what does he or she expect you to do? In other words, okay, the lights are on, the sirens are going, what should you do?
Well, first of all, you want to find a good spot to pull over. far enough off the shoulder where it's not going to have you go off the roadway, but far enough over where you're not going to be hit by other traffic.
All right, and state troopers normally are, before they even turn on the lights many times, they're looking for the place. So they may have been behind you for a mile or two.
Exactly.
Because they're looking for a safe place to have you pull over.
Yes, we want a spot that's going to be clear from traffic, not on a hidden corner or a hill crest.
Okay, and once that car pulls over, then what are some of the guidelines that the state troopers follow for safety?
Well, we're going to position our vehicle in such a way that if there is a collision, it's not going to contact myself while I'm talking to the individual or their vehicle. And if it does, it's going to keep us out of harm's way.
All right, and we talked a little earlier, now you stagger it out just a bit more to the road than the vehicle you've pulled over.
Yes, to give us a little buffer zone.
And you turn the wheel to the outside of the road, to the guardrails, to the curb.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so if it is hit, that's where it goes.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. Now, when you approach the car, what do you expect the person to do? Now, they may have done nothing and you're just checking stuff, or they may have done something really foolish, like they're chatting away on the cell phone without hands-free.
Yes.
And they're just totally occupied doing this, and they're not watching anything else, which is why it's a law now.
Right.
All right, or speeding. So as you approach the car, what do you expect them to provide you?
Well, I'm expecting them to provide me with their license, registration, and insurance card.
Okay.
I'd like to see their hands.
That's a big thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Their hands should be visible to you. They don't have to be on the steering wheel, but they really should be visible.
They should be visible. It helps us out. The more comfortable we feel with the stop,
yes,
the easier it's going to go.
I like that, and that's an honest way. I think one of the things I've always commented when I've worked with police units is take your sunglasses off.
It is nice to see their eyes.
It's a comforting thing to see
Yes.
their eyes, because a person's eyes tell you some of the things they're thinking and what they're going to do.
They sure do.
Yeah, we believe that in the martial arts as well. Now, prior to going up to the vehicle, they may want to go to the glove compartment and get all this stuff, but they should wait.
We'd like them to wait until they're asked to provide it.
Okay.
Any furtive movements, just raises our suspicion.
All right, good. Yeah, and they may, I think one of the phrases is they may want to get this over with as quickly as possible.
Yes.
But if they're moving too quick, they also end up looking guilty, and they start to look like there's more going on than what is going on. All right, so then, now everything is going fine. You've pulled them over. You're asking for the registration and the license, the insurance, and you're talking to them. You may go back to the car and run it.
Yes.
And check it out. Or you may ask them to get out of the car. If you ask the person to get out of the car, where should they go? What should they do?
Well, they should go where directed. Usually it's towards the fronts of the vehicles, usually off the roadway.
Okay, but not to the rear.
Not to the rear.
Again, safety factor for a collision to your vehicle, entrapping you and them in between.
Exactly. You don't want to be pinched in between vehicles.
All right, so they go to the front of the vehicle. That all makes good sense. I think
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. I think we've seen that in the last couple of years. You have a tough job. We could make it a lot easier if we use hands-free, if we didn't speed, and if we use caution and use some common sense out there. It would make your job easier.
It sure would.
All right. Thank you again, Trooper Gates, for spending time with us, and spending time out here at the Herkimer State Trooper location. Stay safe, and the best to you.
Coming up on Safety and Awareness Today.
I have 2 5-pound free weights here in my hands, and we're just going to do a basic deltoid raise.
Right now we're at Planet Fitness, and we're going to talk with Colleen Teamy, who's a fitness professional, about some fitness exercises for your well-being.
Hi, I'm Colleen Nestor Teamy from Teamy Fitness Works of Planet Fitness.
Colleen, we're having fun working out. I can see you do a lot of it, obviously, and we're talking about deltoids today. How can we strengthen our upper shoulder structure?
Okay, I have a very simple one that we can do with free weights. I have 2 5-pound free weights here in my hands, and we're just going to do a basic deltoid raise.
Okay.
So you want a soft bend in your elbow.
Yeah.
You lift the weight up
You got a little,
slowly.
okay, I see a little bend in the elbow.
Try not to go higher than the shoulders. I see this a lot at the gym. like
Yeah,
this.
flapping of the wings.
Exactly,
Flapping of the wings.
Exactly. Your shoulder is a very mobile joint. So you have to be careful. You want to be careful you don't impinge the shoulder joint.
Yep.
If I was to raise my hand, I'd have to rotate it this way to get it up higher comfortably without pulling the joint.
All right.
So you can do the deltoid raise nice and slow, up and back down.
All right. Now, if I'm doing this, I keep my feet together too?
You can take them apart. You can do a
Doesn't
split
matter.
stance.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
just
hold those abs nice
here.
Yep, and then slowly lower.
And then lower.
Yep. Can you feel that? Right
Yes, I
here.
can. Yep, I
Yep.
can. Here
Yep. Hold for a sec.
to
Breathe.
here and breathe.
Yep.
All right, one more. Oh, oh.
Now, if you want to do a little challenge with this too, add
Yeah.
a little bit of the core in there, put a little balance in.
A little balance.
Make everything
That's
exciting.
good. That's
Variety's
good.
the spice of life. You can bring up one leg
Yep. And do the same thing.
and lift. That's nice. And
All right. Well, I might want to use your weights here in a minute. So I put this leg up here
Yeah.
to here.
Yeah. So now you're working the deltoids.
Here.
You're working the lower body and definitely working that core.
Here.
Balance.
Excellent,
Now try it
excellent.
with one weight. Yep. Raise.
Whoa.
Very nice.
Okay, but that's
see, now
hard.
That's a nice
That
challenge
is
to
hard.
work
Yeah,
up
that
to.
is. That
It
is.
keeps the exercise from getting boring. You're working that deltoid there. You're working balance, a little coordination.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can feel that. Whoa, that's really good. That's very good. Excellent. So that's going to work our deltoids.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we can get a little better balance.
You got that.
I love it. I love it. We're going to move on to some more safety awareness on the show, but I want to thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The self-defense technique we're going to go over right now is a self-defense technique that you can do when you've become surprised by an attacker you can't see who has come from behind and pushed you up against the outside wall of a building, the wall of a room, maybe up against some lockers. The fact is that when that happens, there is something you can do and you can be aware of to be able to get out from between that attacker and that wall that you've been pushed up against. I have Eric Stolick with me. I'm going to have him do this so I can point some of these small points out. He comes up, he pushes me up against the wall. Now, if you'll notice, my hands immediately go up to protect my face from the wall. My elbows will protect my upper chest, and that's what my arms want to do. They want to protect my face and my chest, so they don't go high. They go right here where they're supposed to. To be able to get out of this, all I want to do is take one of my arms. I'm going to take my left one, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to slide it down that wall as they're pushing and drop it. I'm going to reach for the floor with that arm that I've dropped between my body. I'm going to do it all in one swoop, reach for the floor, and it's going to pull my shoulder. And as it pulls my shoulder, I bring this arm around. Now I'll be able to elbow strike, forearm strike them in the head. More importantly, what I'm trying to do is to make sure they can't see what I'm doing next, because I'm escaping. Now I can turn and palm strike here. I can dip and palm strike to the knee, or simply move away. Good, if you're going to kind of move off. Now keep in mind what you saw me do. How can that be prevented so I can't do it? One thing is for that person to tell me to put my hands high on the wall. Once my hands go above my head, now dropping a shoulder becomes very difficult. Secondly, if somebody tells me to bring my feet away from the wall, once my feet are far enough out away from the wall so that my hands are here, my feet are here, and I'm leaning to the wall, my hips, or center of gravity, actually are more forward towards the wall than my heels. Now I can't bring my hands off the wall. So when you are pushed up, instead of trying to push yourself away and stabilize your body, you're pushed up, drop that hand and rotate. And that will take you off the wall, and it'll take you out of that spot between the attacker and that rock or hard place, okay?
Coming up on the next Safety and Awareness Today.
Safety and Awareness Today is going to cover bicycle motocross, and it is an exciting sport. I can't wait to get out on the track and the young people are fast, but the name of the show is Safety and Awareness. And today we're all here, but it's raining. So you're gonna have to wait till next month when we shoot on a better day and see bicycle motocross. The Safety and Awareness Today show is in its second year, and we have covered a number of topics. If you have a job, sport, or activity that involves safety procedures for you or the community, we would like to cover it for the show. Write us at safetyandawareness@cnyhomepage.com.